So the ASICS Novablast 3 was my favorite versatile trainer of 2022, and after 100 miles on it, I'm ready to give you my full review. So throughout this video, I'll be using my Stoplight rating system. So if it's green, there's more pros than there are cons. If it's yellow, pluses and minuses are about the same, and if it's red, the negatives outweigh the positives. So just a quick disclaimer that ASICS did provide these shoes to me for the purpose of review, but that does not influence any of my opinions. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive in. Starting with the upper. So I found that the fit of the Novablast 3 was true to size. I didn't have any heel rubbing, and it wasn't too spacious, but also not too tight. The solid lockdown around the midfoot also helped with this secure fit. The heel counter and ankle didn't have a ton of padding, but enough to keep the weight down while also still being comfortable for longer runs. The only thing I thought was a little weird was the tongue. It barely had padding and always seemed to pucker out on me. The jacquard mesh on the Novablast 3 was breathable enough on warm days, but not too open where my toes would freeze on cold days. Now let's talk about the midsole. So with a stack height of 31 millimeters in the heel and 23 in the forefoot, for just the foam, the Novablast 3 packs quite a bit of flight foam blast into it. And if you measure it by World Athletics all-inclusive measurements, then it's 41 millimeters in the heel and 33 in the forefoot. That's factoring in the outsole and sock liner. So with all this foam and how the midsole is sculpted, you get a nice bounce from the shoes. It's not a super soft marshmallow. It does have a bit of responsiveness to it, and I think this is part of what makes it so versatile. So despite it not really having a rocker, I thought the heel to toe transition felt smooth, and landing in the heel felt protective while toeing off felt more responsive. So after putting 100 miles on the shoe, the midsole isn't looking the best. There's a lot of scuffing and creasing, but fortunately the ride still feels good. However, I worry they won't feel as lively once you get past 300 or 400 miles. Now moving on to the outsole. So adding to the durability aspect, the exposed foam on the forefoot got shredded pretty early on. Again, it's mainly cosmetic, but over time that will chip away at the midsole. As far as the rubber itself, it's AHR, but it isn't the AHR Plus, which is their more durable rubber. So it has been fine, but not the most durable rubber outsole out there. So since the rubber is, again, AHR, not AHR Plus, it also isn't as grippy. I found it perfectly suitable for road and gravel canal paths, but it was not great in packed snow or trails with any elevation. So I guess using less rubber on the outsole helps save some weight though, and coming in at 8.7 ounces, the Novablast 3 is pretty lightweight shoe, all things considered. Alright, we have reached the run type stoplight portion of the review, where I will go over speed day, everyday, long run day, and recovery day. Starting with speed day, I give the Novablast 3 a yellow light. So yes, this is an up-tempo trainer, and when I'm on a training run and picking up the pace, this shoe does feel good. However, if I'm trying to do some serious speed, like doing repeats or 10K pace type things, this isn't the first shoe I'm going to reach for. I'd rather go for something a little more firm, like the Magic Speed 2 perhaps. For everyday runs, it gets a green light. So the majority of the 100 miles in the shoe were just normal everyday runs. I enjoyed that kind of extra bounce to it and just cruising along, throwing on the miles. For long run days, I give this shoe a yellow. So yes, it is a very cushioned, very bouncy shoe, but when I reached over 13 miles, I was kind of hoping for something maybe a little more stable in the midfoot and something with just a little more plush upper. So in that case, I would go for something like the Super Blast or the Nimbus 25. Recovery day also gets a green light. So when I was taking it slow, taking it easy, you kind of sunk in a little bit more than when you were picking up the pace. So it felt a little softer, a little bouncier, and it was overall really enjoyable for those easy days. So now talking about the price, the shoe is $140, and I think that's a pretty reasonable price for this shoe. It uses a nice cushioned, bouncy foam. It's pretty lightweight and versatile, and I think it's on par with the competition, and you get what you pay for with this shoe. Alright, so taking a look at the results here, you can see that it's mostly green with some yellow thrown in there, But overall, I give this shoe a go, which means if you're looking for a versatile cushion trainer, I think that the Novablast 3 is a great choice. So have you tried the Novablast 3? I want to hear what your thoughts are on it. Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching my full review. Subscribe so you don't miss any of my other videos. And as always, keep on running.